boyfriend came with me and everything. And we left from there. It was an emotional moment. We went and got some dope. I shot dope and my water broke that night. So I was 32 weeks pregnant and I had my daughter. And I was like, she's like,
what is going on, my people? Listen.
I'm struggling.
Need y'all to do us a favor before we get into this episode.
Bet.
Ronnie, what do the people need to do?
They need to like it.
They need to
share it.
And most importantly,
they got to comment first.
Comment first.
Then they got to subscribe.
Smash that motherfucker.
Or you can subscribe, like, comment, share it. Share it, comment, like, and subscribe. However you want to do it, just do it. Please, we love it when you do it.
Listen, Linda. We're going to be right back after this brief word from our sponsor, and we're going to get into this.
This episode is brought to you by Second Chances Recovery. At Second Chances in Rayville, Louisiana, recovery is built on belief that treating the whole person, not just the addiction, is essential to restoration. Set on a peaceful 10-acre wooded campus, clients are not locked away in wards, but live in fully furnished cabins. They learn everyday skills, develop character, and rebuild relationships. Therapies encompass CBT, DBT, trauma work, spiritual care, and medication-assisted treatment. From the moment they arrive, emphasis is on what they can do, learning, serving, healing, turning recovery into empowerment. Residents are encouraged to step into the community, helping at food banks or participating in cleanup projects, discovering that recovery isn't about what they've lost, but all they are regaining, their purpose, their contribution, and their dignity. Family therapy repair bonds, peer recovery coaches offer hope and mentorship, staff or locals who've lived this journey themselves or truly have a passion for mental health. Insurance is accepted and the ongoing aftercare continues the path forward. It's not just a rehab, it's a refuge for hope, healing, and restoration. If you are interested in going visit Second Chances Recovery or you are struggling, you can call them at 833-780-3088. Again, that number is 833-780-3088. And that address is 161 Comeaux Road, Rayville, Louisiana, 71269. Second Chances Recovery.
What is going on, y'all? It's your favorite duo since Jordan and Kerr. That would be Ronnie LeDuff.
With a bigger
Michael
head.
Oakley.
Yes, Lord.
The Built by the Red Stick. You know, we have a fire guest, because that's what we do. We bring fire.
Very, very a pillar in the AA community.
We bring fire.
More like a cornerstone.
So,
keystone.
As your tradition.
Brimstone.
Here is, whoa.
What's that? That's not good?
No, I don't think so.
All right, cornerstone.
Like brimstone and fire. Like burning shit down, I think.
Well, because she didn't walk through it and now
yes, Lord.
Yeah.
Yes, Lord.
You know that clean. I caught the, wait. I caught the alley-oop.
You caught the alley-oop. You caught that.
Say, check this out, y'all. We got my homie, my dog, all the way from the depths of central Louisiana. If you don't know, now you know. I'm talking about Central Wood thugging, Hooper Road thugging. Now she is a pillar in the AA community. I promise you, if you've been to any conference, if you've been to any convention, if you've been in the rooms of AA, her name is ringing bells. Any treatment center that call me and say they need females to sponsor their females or hook them up with a strong female group, this is my number one call. I want to introduce you to our friend. We finally gonna stop gatekeeping and giving it to y'all, Miss Janey Lewis, a.k.a. Janey Romero, in the building.
I know you lying.
What's up, Janey Lou?
Hi.
Welcome. We fought tooth and nail to get her on here.
Convincing.
You hear me?
My man was putting in the work.
Yes, that's what we do. When we recognize the talent, we recognize the potential, and we act on it ASAP. We appreciate you for coming.
No problem.
He's the best hype man since
yeah, you are.
On this in the damn country.
You know what I mean?
Country.
You know, my mom and them taught me well, you know what I'm saying?
Hype him up.
Hey, and I got a wife that hype me up like that, you know what I'm saying? So it works.
Yes, Lord. So first and foremost, the inaugural question that we always ask.
Who did you vote for?
Shut up.
No, so tell the listeners a little bit about you. We both know you, but tell them a little bit about you. You don't have to go too into detail. Just a little bit about your upbringing, how you got to where you are today.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm 28. I'm from Baton Rouge, but I did move to Central
She built by the
in
red
middle
stick.
school.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
I guess you could call me a Central native, but I don't live in Central currently. Um, I have one son. He's about to be 13.
Sheesh.
Yeah, been on my own since I was 13. So, yeah,
I ain't know that. That's
yeah.
Real strong.
you was buying your own clothes too and stuff.
I mean, I guess
With buying, getting,
13, bro. That's scary to think.
taking.
yeah, you know what? Had to eat.
Old
Yeah.
men out of their wheels and stuff. Yeah.
You know.
Sound like you got a question.
No, that was a joke. That was a joke. That was a joke from earlier when I said,
got you.
yes.
That's why I said.
Nah, there wasn't no question. Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
I'm good. I'm
sorry.
good.
So you talked about being on your own since you was 13. You got a 13-year-old son. What? It's just hard to even ask. Where did your trauma start? Right? Because being on your own from 13, it had to start like way before like the drug use. So it had to be some stuff like
Yeah,
leading
for
up.
sure. So I moved around a lot as a kid. My mom, she passed away when I was 8 years old, but before that, we moved around from Florida to Louisiana back and forth, and she did her best, but she was an alcoholic and she drank a lot, and there was a lot of different men in the house, so the trauma started there for sure. And then when we moved back to Louisiana when I was 5, she didn't really have anybody to help me with her, so she would leave me home alone, and CPS got called a lot. So I was kind of like self-sufficient at a really early age, I think. And then when she passed away, she was one of 13 kids, so all my aunts and uncles lived in like Illinois and Florida. They didn't live in Baton Rouge. So one day I was just like, "Where's my mom?" And they knocked on the door and they were like, "Yeah, she's in a coma in the hospital." And so whoever my mom worked with at Ruby Tuesdays on college, I guess I stayed with her for I don't know how many days. I was so young, but I was sitting at the bar at her job, and like these 5 women like walked up behind me and they were like, "Hey, like we're your aunts and we're taking you to Illinois." And
That was your first time you met him?
I had met them when I was younger, but I didn't.
Yeah,
But you ain't like remember,
them.
yeah.
I didn't remember
yeah.
them, and so they did. Like we went to the hospital, told my mom bye. I guess they knew she was gonna die. I thought she was gonna live, and they flew me up to Illinois, and I stayed there for the rest of 2nd grade, all of my summer, and started 3rd grade there. I loved it. I lived on a farm. Like grew pumpkins and stuff. Like rode my bike to school. We lived in the middle
grow
of nowhere.
pumpkins?
What the fuck
Yeah.
do you think they come from?
Yeah,
You think they just
it was awesome.
You think you ain't never been to the pumpkin patch?
Yeah, that's true. Never
It was
mind.
awesome.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No,
She had her own pumpkin patch.
literally,
crazy.
and like all the gourds and stuff like that. It was really cool. And I like rode my bike to school. It was a really safe place, and it was different from what I was used to. And then I found out when I was older, but my dad was in rehab when my mom died in Florida. So he ended up staying in treatment. Didn't attend the wake or the funeral or anything like that. He found out about it, but what happens whenever a parent dies, you go to the next.
Yeah.
Closest relative.
Yeah, so he got custody of me and they had to bring me back. And trauma with that is that I was taught to hate my dad when I was younger. So whenever he got me, like, I didn't want to go. And so I told him I hated him like every single day for a long time. And he would he was sober and he was in recovery. And I didn't know what any of that was at the time, but he was sober and he did everything to win me over, and he did. And then he relapsed. And so it was just trauma from there, and I think being on my own at 13 was my dad had a sister who ended up taking me after he went to jail. I lived
That's
with
not the Illinois people. That was your mom's side.
my dad's side, which
Okay.
is my sister's. His sister, she lived in Central, so
Got
that's
you.
why I
Okay,
moved.
okay,
That's why I moved
okay.
to Central was because of her. And before I moved to Central, I lived with Kayla. I'm sure y'all know who she is. I post her on Facebook.
Kayla
and stuff.
W.
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
Shout out. She just had another baby, right?
She did.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
Miss Kayla.
She did. That's
Yeah.
my childhood best friend. We
Okay.
are pretty much family. Like our parents were best friends, our moms and our dads, and we were friends since birth. So we grew up together, and I lived with her for a while, and then went to Broadmoor Elementary.
Ugh.
Broadmoor.
Finished 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade at
I
Broadmoor.
didn't go to Broadmoor Elementary.
But you
Yeah,
went to Broadmoor.
I didn't go to Broadmoor Middle or High. I ended up moving to Central in middle school. I got this little fancy Social Security check from my mom passing away, and so that was really like appealing to people, I think. And
You got it monthly.
yeah,
Yeah, you had a bunch of friends.
yeah, I had a lot of friends. You know, my dad was one of my biggest friends. You know, so
You started getting that at 13,
8, like from when she died,
and
you
it went
know.
directly to you, so where you had access
So
to
when
it.
my aunt had me, she took care of me with it. I would come home and have like clothes on the bed. She would go shopping for me. Crazy story. Recently, I was moving and I like went through this bag my uncle gave me because my aunt died in 2016. But my uncle gave me this bag and I never went through it. And I went through it recently and I found like all the receipts from every little dollar she ever spent with all that money, every payment. She wrote it down and what it was for, you know. And like I had like a moment of like it was tough, and it was like Hannah Montana clock, Hannah Montana clothes, Hannah Montana, you know, bedspread, and it was just Janey to go to the 13th gate, Janey to go to Skate Galaxy or Skate Heaven or whatever it was, and I was just like, oh my gosh, you know.
How much was you getting a month?
I think it was like $1,000 a
Wait,
month.
dude, that's a lot for
it was like
$8-year-old.
$1,000
No,
a
it
month.
is. Man, you
Yeah,
just
and at this
pocket
point, I'm
watching.
about
No,
11.
the chat,
okay.
the chat asked me.
Yeah.
that. It's the chat, bro.
It's okay. I think it was like 1,000 or almost 1,000.
Well, you was rich.
Yeah.
And this was in like,
And she saved all the money for
this
me.
was
and
in like
she
what,
spent it.
2000?
2005, my mom died. So it was like 2008 whenever my aunt had all that. But if she died in 05, so yeah.
I love Hannah Montana. You get the
Oh, yeah.
best of both worlds.
I loved Hannah Montana. I had everything. Shirt, my whole room was decked out Hannah Montana.
So true story, and I'm gonna let you finish. This is fun. I'm gonna get vulnerable.
Oh, you're good.
I got a life-size High School Musical blanket that I hang up.
Fuck
You
the
remember
High
the
School
one-
Musical tough.
But you
bro.
remember how it in your sober living?
Yes,
Remember?
yes.
Yeah. All
Still
right,
have
I
it?
didn't fuck with you
What?
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like High School.
Yeah.
The OG one though. I didn't really fuck
Before
with
Zach had all the Botox. Now he look like Kathy Griffin.
No, I think that's AI.
Is it?
Because I saw
hope
another
so.
picture of him the other day.
I ain't had no crush on him. I ain't no weird stuff.
Okay.
That's weird. So weird. Well, what are y'all talking about?
And squirrel.
That's good. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Where was I?
You was talking about
yeah.
you found the receipts and had a moment.
Yeah, so that was recently, actually,
Yeah.
just a few months
Okay.
ago. But anyway, so my dad ended up getting out of jail. There was a lot of stuff that happened in between this, but like we don't have to dive into all that.
absolutely.
But, well, I will. We moved into some trailer in Addis because they had a feud over our house that my pawpaw lived with us and he passed away. My aunt and him had a feud over the house and he set the house on fire. For insurance money. I don't know if I should be sharing all this.
Hell,
It's
I feel
R.I.P. I love my dad. He
I feel like
passed away.
Statue of Liberty.
You good.
Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
Statue of
That
Limits.
one too.
R.I.P. You know,
Yeah, that helped.
love my
Like,
dad to
yeah.
death. He was sick just like I was. You know, it's funny now, and you know, back then it wasn't. So we moved into. He bought a trailer with the money, and we moved in his trailer. And like,
With your Social Security money?
No, with
no,
the
with the money
insurance
from the house.
burning the house.
From the
down.
house, yeah.
I missed that. I'm sorry.
Oh gosh, I shouldn't have said that.
No,
man.
you good.
He's not here anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyways, yeah, so we moved to Addis and I think he was with us for like a couple days and he like bought me and Kayla came with us. He bought us like 2 6-packs of Smirnoff and was like, peace out, I'll see y'all later, and like never came back.
Green apple?
Yes.
That was my favorite.
Yes.
That was
He
my
never
favorite.
came back.
Green apple.
I think we were there like hanging out with the people in the trailer park, like they were feeding us and stuff. We
And
were
you like 13 right now, 12?
like 10. 10 and Kayla was like 11.
Yeah, because she ain't on her own yet. She got
No.
she on her own.
Right.
Yeah,
at 18.
so he
You a
leaves.
good listener. I like
Yeah.
that.
And one day my aunt like pulls up and she's like, yeah, so your dad's in jail, you know, you're going to come with us. And I'm like, my dog, because my dad had bought me a dog. Like, we can't leave the dog, you know.
Just
And
got here.
she was like, we'll see about the dog. And I was like, okay. She ended up keeping that dog. She died like a year ago, actually.
Miss Janey, you have so much death around you.
It is a lot. You're right.
Oh,
It's a lot.
my God.
It is a lot. Lots of trauma.
How many more people gonna die?
A lot.
All right, keep going.
A
I gotta
lot.
prepare. I'm sensitive. That's why I'm
Yeah,
asking.
me too. Me
and,
too.
And today that we shooting this, bro, you is.
You know, death makes me weak. And you just. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's okay to
It's-
laugh. Like,
I'm
I have the
sorry.
best dark humor ever. I promise.
know, but it's like, bro, my
Promise.
heart it just keeps sinking every time you say he. It's like the on Life
I
when they
know.
read the
Okay,
letter.
okay,
They're
listen,
like the dog died. Your auntie, she died.
Listen, we've gone through mother passing away, she foreshadowed her father passing away. And you allowed all of this to manifest, and you brought up the death on the dog.
No, but she said the auntie just died a year. That was the straw right there. When she was like, yeah, she just died a year ago.
Yeah, the dog died like a year or actually longer than that, a few years ago. Since I've been sober though, yeah.
Bruh.
Mimi died. My aunt, she died in 2016.
That was it.
We'll get there.
God.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, I mean, moved in with the aunt. Dad went back to jail, and then he gets out. And this is where the Social Security thing comes in because he was like, hey, I moved into Central. Like, you want to come live with me? And I was in 7th grade going to 8th grade. I had lived with her for a couple years, getting suspended and expelled a lot, fighting a lot at school, getting in a lot of trouble, started doing some drugs, and I wanted to do what I wanted to do, and she wouldn't let me. So up until 11 years old, I was able to do pretty much whatever I wanted to do, So going in from that to structure was like, I don't really like this that much, So I like rebelled a lot, and she was the best home I ever lived in my life, but I didn't see that for what it was at that point in time. So I like begged her to move out, cussed her out, and was like, you're going to let me leave, and like she was my aunt, but she was older, much older, and so she was like, I can't handle all this. And so she let me go, and she said, I'm going to let you go. You're never allowed to move back in with me. I'm going to turn over all of the money I've ever saved up for you, and I'm turning over your Social Security checks to your dad. Figure it out because you're going to be let down. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it anyway, And so I did. Moved in with him, and he would be like, here's my keys to my truck. Just be home before I get up for work,
And how old you was now?
Yeah, I was about 12, 13, going into 8th grade. Yeah, I was about 13.
Good thing I didn't drive around Central.
Yeah, we lived on Lovett Road. Took his truck. All my like older friends would like drive it. Like I wouldn't drive it a lot, but he did teach me how to drive.
You can reach the pedals?
Yeah, I'm tall. I'm like 5'6".
You was tall then?
Yeah, I've always had long legs.
Bro, that is crazy. I couldn't imagine. Bro, all right, keep going.
So anyways, yeah, I lived with him for a while, like almost all of 8th grade, and then one day like he just never came home again, and at this point I had this boyfriend that I was like back and forth with for like a few years since like 6th grade, and they lived I still love his mom to death to this day, so I'm not going to talk too deeply about that.
Is it the same one that I know, the how I met you?
His name's Philip.
Okay, no, not him. It was the other one I met you. We had a mutual friend. I ain't gonna say no names if you not.
Yeah, I don't remember who you're talking about.
Oh, all right, cool.
We'll probably
keep
get
going.
there.
All right,
Yeah. That was just like a situation that we like everybody. It was the house everybody went to, and everybody like did the drugs at, and so a lot of when he went to jail, I just kind of moved over there, and nobody like the school knew I was in the guidance counselor's office every day. They knew everything that was going on with me, and like nobody like called anybody, so I just stayed there. Yeah, and like I've gone through therapy about this because like I might have been more mad if they did get me picked up by the state, but then nobody did, and they cared about me a lot, at the school. I felt like anyways, they really just didn't know what to do with me, I think, but yeah, I have gone through therapy with that because EMDR, because I was like, nobody, like I felt very overlooked,
Yeah.
But yeah, so moved in with them, and like a lot of drugs were being done over there, and I like broke my ankle for the first time ever and ended up getting a script of like Narcos, and I was like, oh yeah, I really like this. Did my first Xanax over there. Mojo was like really big back then. And then it was like the trap, like, I'm going to say this and I'm not going to say much more else about it, but we had like deadbolts on our refrigerator, and we weren't like allowed to like just like kind of eat whatever we wanted. And like in the master, they had like a nice refrigerator full of like really good food, and we'd like break into the room and steal food out of there.
They was buying that stuff with your Social Security money?
They also did get my check, yes. So, and they paid my phone bill and stuff like that. And that's one thing my dad did with it was he paid my phone bill and he bought me cigarettes, but the rest was his, and like, hey, it is what it is, So yeah, and then just moving on from that, I ended up meeting Trey's dad when I was 14. And the guy, Philip, at the time, like, we weren't together anymore, but we were living in the same house, and he, like, moved away. And so I was like, I guess I got to find somewhere to go, And I got voted into high school by proxy. I did not pass the LEAP test, nor did I pass it in summer school. And my teachers just felt like I was capable, but I didn't put in effort. So they literally voted me into high school and said, if you complete high school and you don't get expelled or suspended, you promised us that, we'll let you go to high school. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, that's awesome. So I ended up moving out with my friend Amber, is that who we met through?
No, I was a dude.
Oh, I don't remember who it is.
Kyle and Chris.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
Chris also passed away.
Yeah, yeah. It was
Yeah,
another death.
yeah. That was really hard.
Yes.
That was one of my best friends growing up. Him and Victoria.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was horrible. Kyle's doing okay, I think. But yeah, so I ended up living with Amber for a while, but I met Trey's dad at some point, and like one day I like went over there and I never left.
But it was legal back then, huh?
I don't know. Nobody said anything. He's on the birth certificate, you know.
Yeah, I mean, statute of limitation.
Yeah. I don't know.
I was joking. You really didn't have to say it.
You can cut that out.
No, it's live. It's live.
Oh,
Yeah, we streaming right now.
you lying.
Look.
Love that. Great.
Can't stand you.
Anyway,
Never left. You met
met his dad.
Met his dad,
We were
yep.
together for some years. Not gonna dive too deep into that, but yeah, he it wasn't a very healthy relationship at all. It was very toxic. I was very toxic and crazy, and I liked to fight and stuff like that. So, and I was just really young. I didn't know any better. So I was on my own from like when my dad went to jail when I was 13 up until, you know.
So this was your ratchet era.
Yeah, we were together until I was 17 and right before I turned 18. And when we split up, he liked to drink a lot. I didn't like to drink because he would get so belligerent on alcohol. So I just never wanted to drink. But when we split up, I started drinking a lot. And I turned 18, and the first job I got was a bartender. I started bartending at a place in Port Allen, and I was making insane money. Me and Kayla were working there, and like saved all this money, moved into my own place, got my first apartment with my friend Amber, and
The Social Security stopped at this time.
I still got it until I was 18. So I dropped out of high school, obviously. I got pregnant in 9th grade. I didn't listen to the teachers.
Yep.
And I really wanted to have a high school diploma. Like, I didn't want to be like that person that didn't achieve that, you know? And so I never did go back to an actual physical high school, but I did find a homeschool program through Parkview Baptist, and I homeschooled myself, and I just paid for it with that Social Security money. Every month I had to do work by myself, and then I would have to turn it in every month.
Dope.
And I got a high school diploma. It's not like a GED or anything like that. I was really proud of myself for that. It was a big accomplishment. When I turned 18, the Social Security checks did stop. But at some point, I started getting them. My aunt, she never let me move back in with her, even though I was like going through the pregnancy and all that crazy stuff. But she did like get my checks for me eventually after I moved in with Trey's dad, and she would give me money and stuff. So she handled my money for me, which was really cool. I was able to have a phone and food if I needed it and stuff like that. So that was
So who get the money now? It just go back to the state. You said it stopped at 18.
It just stops at 18. There is no more. They just do it until you're old enough to care for yourself. Yeah.
Okay.
I think if I would have went to college, it could have continued, but I don't really know for sure.
So it's like child support, but
Pretty much like you pay into Social Security every time you pay taxes, you know, and like that's what
got
it's
you.
for.
That so it's okay. So it's not like what the parent, like the person has worked and paid in, and then you get that amount. It's just we're gonna take care of you to this age. Okay, I didn't.
So it's like if you lose a
I didn't-
parent, like, you know, your parent pays into Social Security if they have a job. You know, if she
Gotcha.
didn't have a job, maybe I wouldn't have gotten anything, but she did have a job, so she paid into Social Security.
Gotcha.
I don't really know exactly how that works, but
Yeah, I
I'm pretty
did,
sure
and that's
that's
why
how it is.
that's why I was asking.
Yeah,
Okay.
so the checks was a big thing when I was younger, so stopped getting them. Graduated high school. I didn't walk with my class. I didn't have the money to pay for cap and gown, so they just mailed me my diploma.
That's bad. That's cool.
Yeah,
you
it's
ain't miss
pretty
nothing.
cool. Yeah. And then I
So you
started
working at a
drinking.
bar,
Yeah, I
and you
started
said-
drinking
okay,
a
yeah.
lot, and like I had done heroin a couple times in between this, but like I never shot up, and I would snort it and stuff, and I really liked it. But when I started making all that money, I was like, okay, I want to do better, you know, because I was running the roads rapid before that. Couldn't keep a job. I was not living right, you know.
Did you have your baby with you at this time? This segment is brought to you by Get Going Transportation. If you're looking for reliable Medicaid transportation that's service Central and Southern Louisiana, we got you covered. Give our guy Shake a call at 337-243-9007. I know some of y'all probably like, if it got 4 wheels, he gotta have more deals. Check it out. He got you covered. Non-emergency transport, doctor's appointments, airport and cruise transportation, dialysis treatment, dental appointments, private outings, weekend medical transportation, even a night out on the town. Like I said, if it got 4 wheels, he got other deals. Give our guy, your new guy, Shake Ryan at Get Going Transportation a call. His number again is 337-243-9007. Tell him your beautiful friends at Built by the Red Stick sent you.
Yes, most of that. So something did happen right after Trey's dad and I split up. I let Trey's dad have him for a few days, and something very traumatic happened, and OCS got involved while he was with him. And so from that point forward, actually, I really need to talk about this because it's a big part of my story. But he had to go to the hospital, and I had to go pick him up. And I have a sister named Kylie who is not in recovery, but she would set very hard boundaries with me when I was younger. And we have the same mom, not the same dad. And her dad was married to this lady named Tracy. And Tracy and him had split up, and she had remarried, but she raised my sister, so she was still technically like her mom,
Right.
you know. And her new husband at the time, or they're still married, not at the time. He at the time was a cop, and he knew like people in the FBI and stuff like that. He did narcotics and stuff. So she called when we went up to the hospital, because I'm calling her like, I don't know what to do. Like, I have to bring my baby to the hospital. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there, you know. And he was 3 at the time, and Michael came up to the hospital, and that's Tracy's husband now. And ever since then, they've been in my life. And my sister kind of took Trey. I tried to kind of stay over there for a little while, but I was just heavily like using, you know, and doing my own thing. And I was still so young and still heartbroken from all the things that were going on. And they kind of took him for me, and like I would see him here and there and try to be involved. But my sister Kylie had him for a little while, and then Tracy and Michael took him, and they started to raise him. And honestly, like, the reason why Trey is the kid that he is because of them.
Yeah.
So they had him until he was 5, and when I got sober, obviously. But so they had him for a few years, and you know, they're my family today. Like, I go to every holiday over there. I call her mom, you know. That's Pop and Honey. They have literally adopted me into their family, and Trey into their family. I don't really have a lot of family. You know, both my parents are gone. My dad wasn't really ever present. I have my sister Robbie, you know, who is in recovery with me. Thank God for that. But other than that, like, I don't have, like, all my big family is in other states, and I don't really talk to them a whole lot. So it's really nice to have, like, a place to go, because there was a point where I didn't have a place to go, you know, and like, I was at all the alcathons and stuff like that because I didn't really know. And so I know y'all, you know, watch my Facebook and see like how close I am with all my friends, you know, and like, that's why, because
That's
like,
what I
I
was gonna
hold
bring
that
up.
really near
That's
and
your
dear to
family.
my
Yeah.
heart,
That's
you
your
know. And
family.
like, the people that most of my friends I've been friends with since I was very small, you know,
Yeah.
since I was a teenager. Like, Sheridan is my son's cousin, you know, and Rachel and I have been friends since I was like 14 years old. And but I hold them like super close to me because of that, and I like look at them as family, you know. So yeah, I think I kind of got off track, but they kind of stepped into our life and helped me with Trey for a while.
Yeah.
And so I started bartending and all of that, and I was drinking a lot. Like, I was like, I didn't even pour it in a cup, you know. Like, Apple Crown was my thing, and I would drink it out the bottle,
Straight out the
you
bottle.
know.
Jeez.
Hot, it didn't matter. I really liked Patron, and I just was drinking a lot. I didn't care, you know. Like, once I was drunk, I was drinking whatever it was, and then once I got drunk, I wanted to do more, you know. And so then I like had this boyfriend a friend that was one of my best friends turned boyfriend at some point, and he had a problem with, you know, shooting heroin, and I didn't know much about that at the time. So when he got out of rehab and was like, oh, like, let's be together, I was like, okay, you can drink. And he's like, yeah, I can drink, I just can't shoot heroin. And I'm like, cool, dude. Like,
Checks out.
I didn't know, you know, like, at the
Yeah.
time, like, sure, I'm just drinking, you can just drink, you know. And then next thing you know, we're getting pulled over. He's like, hold this, hide this, get it. I'm like, what is that? You know, like, what is this spoon, you know? And so from that point forward, I started to get curious about that, you know, and I started snorting heroin again. And at this point, I've got my own place. I'm making thousands of dollars a week. You know, I'm stacking money. I'm doing really good for myself. People can see that I'm doing really good. I'm drinking a lot, but I'm doing really good from the outside looking in,
Right.
you know. And I just remember like sitting in this living room, and I'm the only one that's snorting it. And everybody else is like sleeping on themselves. And I'm just like, well, this is fun. You know, like, I want to be like y'all. And
Catch the nod.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
I really want to be like y'all. Like, this is making me want to get up and clean. I don't want to clean, you know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like one day we were like going to get some more, and my boyfriend, I was like, hey, you're going to shoot me up. I want to do that. And he was like, no. And we fought and fought and fought, and he finally did it. And from that point, like, I just remember, like, I have arrived, And so I was like, okay, I'm only going to do it once a week. Only once a week. I'm going to go to work, all that stuff. And
Turn into once an hour.
once it was bad. And within a month, it was right before my 19th birthday. I was about to be 19. I was working at the bar, and
So what year was this?
2015.
So it's real heroin. It's not fentanyl.
Yeah, no, we weren't overdosing. Yeah, we didn't have Narcan or
You
nothing.
got to actually get high.
Yeah. This was like the real stuff. We weren't scared of overdosing at all. I did overdose a few times, but it wasn't like you need Narcan. It was like, shake her back. You'll be okay.
Or some ice on her.
Yes, exactly. And this is around the time when I was running with, Chris and all that and stuff like that. But yeah, like I started doing it every day, and within like literally 30 days, I lost everything. I went to jail 2 days before my 19th birthday at my job that I had been at for a while, who they adored me and loved me, and I brought a lot of people in to, because I made friends with everybody, and we would throw parties and stuff like that. And I got in a fight at work, pepper sprayed in the face by the police, and brought to West Baton Rouge Parish Prison, and lost my job because that was unacceptable, And I got a simple battery charge, got out of jail the day before my 19th birthday. And then I kept going after that.
So when did you first start trying to get sober?
So right after this, I kept going. I lost my job. I started working at the Crazy Horse. I was a shot girl over there. I was too good to strip.
I was about to say the Crazy House.
Yeah, it was Crazy House. Yeah, I was too good to strip, So I'm like, I'll be a shot girl. Started working there. Didn't make nearly enough money, and it was really a shame. It was a shameful thing for me because I was making a lot of money with my clothes on, and then I go to this place where like I have to wear these like outfits to make money, and I'm not making nearly as much as I was, before, just being myself.
Right.
So that didn't last very long because I just didn't like the way it made me feel. But a couple months in, the boyfriend that I had like gets in trouble and has to go to rehab, and so he's like, look, my parents will let you live with them. I'm going to rehab. So that's what I did, and I started like reading the Bible every day. I tried to stay sober while I was there. I gained a shit ton of weight, and I like snuck out one time to go get high on like Opanas or something like that. But for the most part, I did a pretty good job. And then he gets out and he's like, let's have a baby. And I'm like, yeah, like, let's have a baby. That's such a good idea, And
I did that before. I did that. I see his logic.
I thought it was a great idea.
Yeah.
We had been together for a few years
Yeah.
at this point. I'm like, yeah, like we should definitely have a baby.
Yep.
So the first time I got pregnant, before I even found out I was pregnant, he was like, you got to go. Like, I don't want to be with you anymore. And I was like, okay. So I left, and I'm like, I'm telling you I'm pregnant. But I could tell that I was, but I was taking pregnancy tests and they were negative. Yeah. And then a couple days after he kicked me out, I did like go get high, obviously, and was up for some days. And I called Sheridan, and I was like, hey, like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, can you please come get me? And she came and got me out of this trap house that I was in, and I was like, I think I'm pregnant, And so we went and bought a pregnancy test. Sure enough, I was pregnant. And I'm telling him, and he's like, it's not mine. I'm like, it's been 4 days. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's literally been 4 days. What do you mean it's not yours, So I was, and his mom was like, you should give it up for adoption. Like, there's abortion. And I'm like, no, like, I'm not doing that. I'm going to have this baby. And I didn't even have Trey, Long story short, I went through that pregnancy just trying to stay sober. I ended up living with Sheridan for a little while, lived with my dad for a little while, who had gotten sober in between all of this and some church thing. I don't know. He lived in some sober living, but it wasn't a sober living anymore. So he's like, you can come stay with me. And so I stayed with him for most of my pregnancy, and he would give me like Tramadol and Lortabs to try to like help me not go do heroin, and I justified it because when I was pregnant with Trey, the doctor prescribed me medication, so I thought it was okay. And towards the end, I was 30 weeks pregnant, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I'm going to get high. And so I started shooting dope, and I called Tracy, who had Trey, and I was like, look, I've been using, like, I don't have the first thing for this baby. She's due in 10 weeks. If I even make it that far, you can't even tell I'm pregnant. You know, I'm tiny. And I was like, I don't know what to do. And she was like, well, do you want me to look into adoption? And I was like, yeah, let's just see what they say, you know. And within 2 weeks, like, it was crazy. Like, this is another profound thing. This is what led me to rehab.
The time you got sober?
Yeah, the first time I ever got sober. Not when I actually got sober,
Okay.
the first time I got sober. She was like, here's this lady, let's go see her, you know, and she shows me all these portfolios, and I'm like, okay, I'm picking two. I want to meet these people. Met one, didn't like them. Met the second one, and she was just like, literally, as soon as I met her, I was like, this is the woman. Like, she's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, it was just a God moment for sure. And 2 weeks later, 2 weeks later, that was 30 weeks, 2 weeks, 32 weeks, we meet her again, and we're like, hey, we want y'all to be the parents. We think that y'all would be, you know, great for this. And the boyfriend came with me and everything. And we left from there. It was an emotional moment. We went and got some dope. I shot dope, and my water broke that night. So I was 32 weeks pregnant, and I had my daughter. And I was like, she's going to die. You know, like, there's no way. They just told me she was a pound. And, like, I was just freaking out. And she was born breathing on her own. I had drugs in my system, but the only thing she had in her system was Suboxone, which I thought was really weird. And she didn't really, like, she was in the NICU for a while, but I don't think she had withdrawals like that because I really wasn't using, this was like a 2-week thing, you know, where I was like, oh God, I can't do this. So I really think it was all God. Like, God knew I wasn't going to stop using those next 7 weeks.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, she was born that night that we told them. So they had to, like, prepare themselves, you know, and
Speedy.
yeah,
Man.
she was born October 16th. My birthday's November 19th. And so I went to treatment a month later, a few days before my 20th birthday. So I turned 20 in treatment. And I was like, oh, yeah, this is it, you know, like, I believe everything this man's telling me, like, it sounds just like me, and I really, truly wanted to be sober. Like, I went for me. Nobody forced me, you know, they took her, so they didn't have to force me into treatment,
Right.
you know. I didn't have my son. Nobody was like, you have to go, or you're going to lose this, you're going to lose that, you know, so I truly wanted to be sober, and I did stay sober for about 8 months after that, and I did. I got a sponsor. I tried to work some steps. I did as honest of a 4-step as I could, you know, like, that I thought I was being. The one thing I didn't want to do was sponsor people, you know, like, I did not want anything to do with that. I was selfish. Got into a relationship. That's what I do best. And that lasted another 2 years, and I would, like, kind of skim through that. But just after the 8 months, I relapsed over and over and over again. And eventually I was just like, look, I am not going to go back to a rehab facility until I know that I'm ready, you know? And, like, everybody had to leave me. Like, Tracy and them had to cut ties with me, my sister, you know? Something happened right before I went to the Grove. She had a boyfriend who I would use with when I would go get high, but she had been sober through all of this, and she would beg me, don't use with them, don't use with them. And I'll openly talk about this now, but this was something that really was hard. It was hard for me to get sober because of this.
Absolutely.
He met me, and I, like, gave him some of what I had, and, like, he left and died, you know? And that was my sister's boyfriend. And I was like, I'm never going to treatment, you know? And then this was in May. He died in March of 2018. I ended up at the Grove in May of 2018. That's when he kicked me out.
You kicked her out of treatment? Bro, she could have died. Did you not hear all this death been happening around?
I was causing chaos in there. Let's just be real.
I guarantee you, I don't remember verbatim, but I guarantee you she got more than one chance.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah.
I did not say no.
Yeah. No, I was definitely told, like, hey, you're doing too much, and you don't need to try. I was trying to take people with me.
She didn't leave alone.
You was creating fight night in there?
I didn't leave alone.
You was fighting people in there?
No, I was trying to take people with me. I had a car, you know, and I didn't even want to get high, but every time I would ever leave a treatment, so I only completed 2 treatment centers ever. Once the second time I went to treatment, and once when I got sober and stayed sober.
Yeah.
Every other time I was leaving, walking, I would walk from Ethel. It did not matter. In the snow, I walked in the snow.
Gone.
It did not matter, you know, and if I wanted to leave, I wanted to leave. And every time I never went and left and got high right away. I would stay sober for a few months, 30 days. But that time, that was the first thing I did, you know.
See what I'm saying, Mike?
Yeah.
You almost killed her.
No, he didn't.
So I know you probably going to get to this, but I just want to kind of, I guess, you have, and I'm going to try to say this right, you have every reason to still be on drugs. you have every reason to have just given up, right? Without a trauma,
For sure.
death.
Yeah, I think
like
most
just
people probably do, huh?
the kid. I didn't even know about the kid situation. Why? Like why this?
You know, when I would go back out, like I told Layla this the other day, I would always hear this voice in my head that would be like, "You're gonna get sober one day." You know, like you believe in this program, you know it works. Like I truly would have those thoughts. Like I would be high and I would have my big book out in the hotel room with me. You
You was
know,
that
like
person? Ugh.
decorating it because I'm high on meth. You know,
Yeah.
but like I just had this strong connection to recovery. You know, and I don't know. I wanted to be sober. I just didn't want to waste people's time anymore.
So, you know, to fast forward a little bit, you find your way back. You know that happens. You get high, you find your way back to getting sober, right? So, like Ronnie made reference to, like all of this shit's happened, and I mean, everybody who knows anything, the 30 days that you were in rehab isn't enough to unpack all that,
Yeah.
right? And I believe you just celebrated 7 years.
Yesterday. yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats,
Thank you.
congrats.
So from the day you get sober
Mm-hmm.
to now, what is the motivating factor for the people listening who have been through all that, who think like, man, I've been through all of this shit. Like, am I capable of it? Am I not capable of it? What words of inspiration do you give on like how you did it? Because like life has taken on a meaning, right? So like we both know you, so like you do have your kid now, you do have a job, you do have a life, you get to do all of these great things. So what was that path like?
When I got to the Grove for the second time, I don't know, something was different. I just kept saying, like, I see this works for others. I don't think it'll work for me. And I think that was a really good, hopeless place for me to be because I think God could do something with that I didn't think I knew anything anymore, you know? And I just listened to what people told me to do. I don't know. Like, everybody was like, get the sponsor, work the steps, complete the treatment, go to this sober living, sign out on the board, do what they tell you to do. I was never willing to do any of that before. I wanted to do things my way. And I just did what people told me to do. And I really put forth effort into helping other people. I had a really hard time with like relationships and stuff. I still do have a hard time with it, but I know what works today, you know? And throwing myself hard into helping others was like really what got me through the beginning of it, I think, because I had so much time on my hands. I didn't have my kid. I didn't really have, like, I went straight back to like serving and bartending whenever I got sober. So didn't have like a super regimen schedule. I was free a lot. I went to a lot of meetings, and I sponsored a lot of women, you know, because I didn't have anything but time. And, you know, since I've been sober, I've lost my dad, you know, I've gone through some trauma. I've gotten in some bad car accidents that have caused me to have severe trauma on my body, you know, which could be a really good excuse to go get loaded, you know. And I've had a lot of hard things happen to me in the course of my sobriety. Most imposed on myself. You know, I make mistakes. I'm not perfect. I have gotten miserable in recovery. I have been the best version of myself in recovery. But the thing that I think keeps me here is that I found what worked and it worked for me. And that's my solution today. I don't think about, oh my God, I just really want to go get high. You know, like I really want to drink about this. Of course, like it would be nice to be normal, I'm sure. But like, I don't think that I would have been as close to God if I was normal. I don't think that normal, you know, like I don't think that I would have been gifted the stuff that I have been, you know, as far as like peace and serenity. So whenever I get in low spots, you know, like my first thought is like, pull out the journal, go back to the basics, you know, 10-step, call somebody, talk about it, go to therapy, whatever it is that works. You know, therapy I'm a huge advocate for. I'm about to start going back to therapy because I feel like you need tools, you know, in your toolbox.
For sure.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think that I finally just accepted it, you know, like, hey, my way doesn't work. It never has. It never will. And I have this child who's 5 years old. You know, he's about to go into first grade. He'll be 6 soon. Like, you got to get your shit together.
Yeah.
You know, like, or he's going to lose you because that's what was going to happen.
Right.
I would not be here today. You know,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be like, oh, she's still getting hot. No, I wouldn't be here.
Do you have anything to do with the other kid, or y'all agreed to just?
No, I do. So I haven't
Really?
seen her since she was born, like physically, but every year on her birthday we talk. I can text whenever I want. It's an open adoption.
So does she know?
She has pictures of me in her nursery. So I was gonna name her Ellie Jane, and they named her Hadley Jane, and they kept her middle name for me, for Janey. She is an amazing woman, like amazing woman. I just can't stress that enough. She loves me so much, and she always tells me how grateful she is for me. And I don't think she's gonna be 9 this year. I don't think she's like told her very much detail, but she will know about me, and she will have the opportunity or option if she wants to reach out. I'm just gonna trust God with that. Like, it's not my place to be like, I birthed you, like you need to know who I am. Like, if that's something she chooses not to do, then I have to accept that, and that's okay with me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see pictures of her every
You
year.
get paid for adoption?
You do. I didn't know that until after I had her.
How much?
$6,000. Like, I had no clue.
Hold on, let me take Kayla right quick.
I don't know how much it is for everybody, but for me, like, they were like, yeah, you get this money. And I was like, no way. Like, that feels not right.
That at all. That's
But
trafficking.
let me tell you what I did. So I did not get my license until I was 20 years old. Like, I used some of that money to go, like, through driving school, get my
You
license.
went to driving school?
Yeah, I had to.
Man, you lame as fuck, kid.
Actually, I think,
I'm
I was
sorry.
20.
I know that peak. Hell no.
Yeah.
Driving school. Man, I paid a lady to just give me the answers to the test.
Okay, so I did go to this place where they like, kind of gave you the answers.
On
Like, I did,
airline?
like a 30-minute. No, it was in Greensburg, Louisiana. It was like
yeah,
way far away.
driving school.
Yeah, I went to
I went to
it was
Stop and
still-
Go
Dude, yeah, that's some
at 15.
WPS, ladies and gentlemen. If you know, you know. I can't say it. I don't want to get canceled.
Huh? What?
So, all right, somewhere right now, somebody is listening to this episode, watching this episode, and your story just hit them like a ton of bricks because they're going through the same exact thing, right? They can't get out of the mud. They got all this trauma, this death, and they just feel like there's no way out. Like, what's one thing you could tell them to help, like, get them wheels turning?
I think my biggest piece of advice is to just stop listening to yourself and listen to people that have the best interests of your heart, like at their heart, because that's what worked for me. Like, I just started, like, you kicked me out the first time, and then everything you said after that, I didn't get in trouble once.
Right.
Like, I got out of treatment and was made the house leader of the house. That's how great I was. And that was a big deal for me. I had to sign out on a whiteboard when I would leave the house. I had to, like, ride with a buddy every time I would leave this house.
No,
like, I couldn't drive my
you went
own
to,
car.
That was
I had a
bad.
car when I got sober, thank God.
To what house did you go to?
Chateau.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Chateau been around that long?
They had just opened Chateau whenever I got out.
For a minute.
Dude, that house old. Wait, you only a year more than me. So I guess that's about right.
Yeah, it had just opened. Like,
Yeah.
it was like I was one of the first people living there. We had so much fun in there. It was great.
So, as a person who has overcome all the adversity and overcome all the bullshit that you've had to step on, we want to give flowers and we'll call this our bragging segment. Tell people what life is like today.
Okay. Yeah.
Like now we got time strength, so I know you got a lot to brag about, but just
No. Okay.
flex your shit.
So, I mean, I actually had a really rough year last year, but through it all, I've like seriously grown a lot in my individuality. I'm not like in a relationship, I'm trying to take some time for myself, and like I honestly was like kind of stuck in a place last year where like everybody around me was like getting married and having babies, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm getting older, like I really want this for myself.
Definitely getting old.
So I was having like a crisis moment, where I'm like, I want those things for myself too. And like my friends would be like, your time is coming, just keep putting one foot in front of the other, and I like literally all at once, all of like this crazy stuff, and like material things don't really matter. Like I have truly gotten my peace and serenity back in the last year, and just feeling good inside about myself, my confidence, my self-esteem was so low last year. That's like one really big thing. But like I just bought a new car.
Shout out.
Like 2 months ago, which like came out of literally nowhere. My transmission was going out in my car. I didn't know how to make it happen. These people made it happen for me. It was like it was all God. Like I got an email and they were like, hey, you're pre-approved for this. Like if you want to go buy a new car. And I was like, sure. And I went and bought a new car the next day. It's pretty cool. I just got a new job.
WPS.
Yeah, I just got a new job. I'm working in a corporate field, like facility now. It's pretty cool.
So you know you got a GED?
She don't have a GED. She got a
high school
diploma.
thank you
Oh,
very much.
yeah. I just wanted to see if you knew.
Damn.
Yeah.
It was a joke.
No,
I'm
I got
just
a
showing
like
them
I
that
already
car
had a
to
big
put-
girl job, but I moved to like a big corporate company, so like it's more like secure.
Congratulations.
And I really like it a lot. And yeah, I moved out of a place I didn't want to be at anymore, and it was a struggle for me. And we have a pool at our little apartment, super cute. So
That's
all that stuff
fire.
has happened more recently, but I think just having friends, like people that I'm like truly, truly close with, is like the biggest thing for me. Like, I can tell these people anything, and like they don't judge me. You know, like, that's a big deal for me. And just not being alone. You know.
Yeah.
Y'all can make it out the mud too.
Yeah.
Man, it's a lot of that I didn't even know about Janey. That was thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely. We're truly blessed that you came on and
For sure.
you know, got vulnerable with everybody so that they can hear your story and overcome. Unfortunately, though, we have come to Ronnie's least favorite time.
My least favorite time is when we gotta let you and our beautiful listeners go.
Yes.
That was very powerful.
Very powerful. I'm truly thankful that you came.
I mean, and I'm not going to go into detail because I know we push for time, but I honestly don't know if I would be sober if I went through all that. So kudos to you.
Absolutely.
You wear it well. Keep being the light that you've been in recovery, and keep picking up the phone. And for our beautiful listeners, subscribers, first-time viewers, smash the subscribe button. Like,
hear
comment,
more powerful stories.
Share. We come to y'all every week, same time, every week.
Every week.
What
time is it?
Game time. Ooh. Oh, my bad. It's 10 a.m. Central Standard Time every Friday.
Fridays?
Right here, every Friday.
Is there a way that they could, like, I don't know, maybe, like, get reminded every time an episode's dropped?
Hit the notification button.
Okay.
Hit the little bell. It's shaped like,
Yeah.
that's a heart.
Yeah.
I had way too much caffeine today. I don't even know how to make
So
a
if
bell.
they subscribe, there's a little bell that they
Right next to it.
and it'll notify them every
You
time
can
an
do it
episode
at the same
drops.
time. It look like you making a fang.
Bam.
You just bow.
Bam.
Bow.
Y'all do that.
Bow.
Yeah,
That's all you
simple.
gotta do.
That way you don't even have to remember. It just notifies you.
It's notifies you.
It's crazy.
We drop it. And the reels, the shorts,
Everything.
TikTok, Facebook, Instagram,
All of
YouTube, Spotify,
New
Apple
fucking
Music.
website.
Everywhere.
I said fucking. New website.
I did say effing.
I did.
Watch your mouth.
First off,
BuiltByTheRedStick.com, the new and improved website. Well, we didn't even have one, so it's just new.
yes, Lord.
Squirrel. If you or somebody you know is struggling, drug and alcohol abuse, mental health struggles, or you even want to get in touch with Janey. Janey, tell them how they can reach you real quick, too, by the way. I'm sorry.
You can reach me on Facebook at Janey Lewis, or you can reach me on Instagram at Janey Lane.
Y'all heard it here first. You can reach us, Built by the Red Stick on Facebook. You can reach me, Ronnie LeDuff on Facebook. You can reach him, Michael Axelrod, Oakley on Facebook. We here to help y'all. We here to serve y'all. We want to love y'all until y'all can learn to love yourselves.
Hey, we got something really big that we're working on.
Huge. I didn't even know I was allowed to say something.
We're not saying nothing besides that.
Think iconic.
Huge.
Major.
Ginormous.
Distribution deal.
Impact.
Charter. I don't know. That's a school.
But it's coming.
You got me.
It's coming.
As always, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back at the same time, at the same place, with the same producer. Built by the Red Stick. Built by adversity, led by courage.
We love y'all.